What's up, guys? Welcome to avatmosall. So this will be a comparison, a very good comparison between the two budget beryllium coated earphones that you might have come across. You must have heard people talk about it, review them individually, but never really have gone toe to toe in any video. I've gone on YouTube and I've not seen anybody do a proper comparison between the recently released TinHifi T1 Plus and the JadeAudio EA1, and I've decided to bring it to you guys who are interested in any of this pair of IEM. What you should know: the differences, the sound, the build quality, and value overall. Now, in terms of price, the TinHifi is a little bit cheaper. Right now, the TinHifi is selling for $25. When it made its debut 2 months ago, it went on sale for $30. Around Black Friday, it dropped to $23, $24. Now it's averaged around $25. So if you use the link in the description, you certainly see it for around $25. You can pick it up if you choose to. Now, the JadeAudio EA1 is $30 now. If you use the link, you will see it's around $30, but it was going for $40 when it first made its debut. As it stands right now, I would say it's a good value, because $5 increase over the TinHifi T1 is not really a big increase. Most people that can afford this, can afford this. It's just $5 difference. And I think if you go through the link in the description, you see some coupon discounts that I think can bring it down to $28. That's $2 off or something of that nature. Now, since the price is out of the way, let's talk about build quality. Build quality is better on the JadeAudio, period. Like, the JadeAudio doesn't have the best shell, but the JadeAudio has a bigger, better shell. It is more thicker. It is heavier. In fact, I feel the dynamic driver, even though both of them are sporting a 10mm dynamic driver, I pretty much feel the dynamic driver in the Jade is better quality because it's heavier. In fact, when you put it on your ears, you can tell that you're putting on something that has a bit of quality that went into it. Whereas the TinHifi T1 is not that. It's a very light earphone. Now, it could be the anesthetics of its design. It's made of cheap, I will even call this plastic or something. It's not really made it's not really made that well in the shell side of things, so I'm not really blown away by the shell, but I like the color I picked because I picked white. I'm one of the few people that picked it up in white. There are other colors that you can pick it in, but while the JadeAudio only has one color, which is the black variant that I have. Now, in terms of accessories, both are decent, not great, but I ended up not using the accessories that came with the Jade, even though right now this is the cable, the stock cable. I put it back on the Jade, but to be honest, I really don't use stock cables on these budget earphones. I end up upgrading them. The cable on the TinHifi T1 is upgraded. It's not the original cable that came with it. It's upgraded, and that's what I'm showing you guys in the video. The other thing here is the tips. As you can see, both earphones are using wide ball tips. Now, the great thing about the TinHifi T1 is that it actually came with wide ball tips. It came with 6 pairs, narrow ball and wide ball, so I didn't have to upgrade the tips. It worked out of the box because I already had the tips to use it with. So to me, I would say accessories is a tie between the two, because the cable that comes with the Jade is very good. Like, honestly, you'll be fine with the cable. It's not the best cable is a 4-core silver cable, it's okay. At least I didn't need to upgrade the cable, to be honest. If you just wanted to upgrade the cable, you just want to add maybe a bulkier, better measuring cable than what it has, which I won't fault you, especially if you like the sound. And as for sound, both are V-shaped. They are both V-shaped, but they're different in their V-shaped signature. The problem here is that the sound already goes, the sound winner goes already to JadeAudio EA1, and I will explain in this video why. If you're into sound quality, you are only interested in sound, the best sound from a Beryllium coated diaphragm, you need to go for the Jade. And that is number one, the bass. Let's start out with the bass. In terms of bass, the quantity in general is bigger on the Jade. When I got the TinHifi, I actually thought the bass was a little bit big, especially when you amp it, but I really didn't compare it against the Jade until today. Like today, I took my time to compare it against the Jade, and honestly, it doesn't even compare to the Jade. The rumble on that Jade is incredibly powerful. Now I don't know whether it's because I've taken my time to break in this Jade. I really don't know, because when I got the Jade's bass was so flabby and so loose that I had to put a tape on the vents. When I covered up that vent, and I to be honest, I only use the Jade outdoors. I really don't use the Jade indoors. I have other AEMs I use indoors, but the Jade, I don't know, but the Jade has broken in, and the bass right now on the Jade is incredible. Like, it is deep, it rumbles with authority and with impact. The bass on the Jade is not the best. It is not too clean. The same goes for the Tin. Both earphones don't have the cleanest bass. Now I can expect that these are $30 earphones. I'm not gonna expect the best bass from both of them, but in terms of quantity and even quality, I would give it to the Jade. The Jade doesn't have the best bass I've ever heard. The bass is not as clean as something like the EDX, but it has more quantity. And if you're a big fan of the Blonde BL03, you will love, and I say this knowing that I can justify it, I said you will love the JadeAudio EA1, because once this bad boy breaks in and you can find a way to seal up these vents, it turns into a bass monster. Like it is literally sick what this thing can do, especially when you amp it properly. The next thing that we look at is the mids. The mids, to me, is a little bit veiled on the TinHifi T1 Plus, and I actually thought that the Tin had better mids when I first got it, because I was playing around with it. I was trying to break it in, but now I've compared the two together. Honestly, I will say right now, the mids on the Tin is woolly. Like, it has this unrefinement that is going on there, and you can only hear that when you start comparing it to other earphones that are really good, that is in its price range that compares with it. Then you see the weaknesses and where it falls short. The Jade on the other hand doesn't have a very prominent mid, but what it does have is the fact, because of the large bass, it bleeds into the lower mids and give it warmth and a little bit of texture. And the mids in general is not veiled. Like, it's not that veiled sound that you get from the TinHifi T1. It's not the clearest mids I've heard, but it is better. It's certainly better than the TinHifi. It is certainly better if we're comparing mids to mids between the two. So to mids, I'll probably give it to the Jade. Now, where the Tin beats out the Jade is in the high frequency. The high frequency on this guy is better, like it extends better. Both of these earphones don't have good treble, so if you're a treble head, you want detail, you want clarity, you ain't gonna get it from these two earphones. These earphones are not just bassy and V-shaped, but they lean so much towards the bass that it's not something that you buy for clarity or detail. Like, it's not a detail monster. You're not gonna get the best detail that you've ever heard. It's not gonna happen here. But what you can get is better extension, a little bit better extension in the tin. So for treble, the treble on the tin is better. I prefer the treble on the tin. I compared it side by side. I used a one audio splitter, high quality splitter, to split it from 1 amp so I could do AB between the two earphones. I will listen to a track and drop it off and listen to another track. Honestly, it was a bit tedious, but I really enjoyed the experiment because I got to hear what both of them could do. Now, the reason why I'm not going in depth explaining the songs by song what performs better is because I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to give you guys the idea of what these earphones can do. Explaining songs by songs, I think it will take a lot of time, but one thing I can say to end this is that none of these earphones, these two earphones, are good for movie and gaming. I'm sorry, they have bass, but they don't have impact, they don't have dynamics, and they don't have the sparkle and detail in treble to bring out the resolution that movies and games do have. Their imaging is not that great, so I'm not really a big fan of these earphones for movies and music. Movies. Music I can manage because from rap, EDM, and most popular music that we listen to these days, they are fine. But when it comes to complex things like movies, TV series, these things can handle it. And there is a reason why I kind of like bright earphones for movies, because they tend to have that detail, the clarity to reproduce movie soundtrack properly. And these two don't have that, what it takes, because I've used them to listen to content and I wasn't really blown away. They weren't horrible, but they are nowhere near perfect. Like, they were nowhere near perfect, but they are good for what you pay for. All right, guys, so this is the comparison. Please use the link to purchase anyone if you're interested. Do subscribe to our channel, like our content, follow on social media. I'm going to see you guys next time.